Let's talk about our obsession with hidden innuendo. Now, don't get me wrong, sometimes in the media that we consume, there is a double meaning, but not always. As humans, we love to create meaning, and sometimes we can watch a TV show or read a book and interpret it in a way that the creators didn't intend. For example, here's SpongeBob creating a balloon version of Squidward. There have been a lot of jokes made that it looks like SpongeBob is blowing up a bunch of condoms to make the balloons. So is this a hidden innuendo? Is the balloon meant to look like a condom? Or are we creating a new interpretation of the scene as adults, viewing this in a way that we might not have as kids? What's really interesting to think about is the fact that the balloons that actually get used to make balloon animals do kind of look like this. So what do you think? Things get even more interesting when you think about the hidden innuendos that have been found in old Disney films. An example of this is the dust in the sky of the 1994 version of The Lion King. Now, people have pointed out that it looks like this says sex, but Disney has said it was actually an Easter egg hidden by the special effects team to spell SFX. And in the 1989 version of The Little Mermaid, people have claimed that the priest has a suggestive bulge in his pants. However, Disney has said that the joke is actually that he's so short that the robes cover his whole body, and the bulge is actually his knee. So in both cases, Disney has rejected the claims that these are hidden innuendos. Are we as humans then creating our own meaning and interpretation of these scenes? Something interesting to think about with both of these examples is that both of these films came out before it was really easy for us to pause a film and focus on the details. So did audiences at the time even notice these things when they were first watching, without the ability to pause and rewind and zoom in? Okay, so maybe with some Disney films, the meanings that we interpret are of our own making. But what do you think about these books? Now, these are all part of a series, written by the same author. Now, looking at the titles and even the content inside these books, they really seem to invite us to create an alternate meaning. Sure, they can be read completely innocently, but when we see lines like this, "Your beaver is too bushy, we just think it needs a trim," I think we can admit it's kind of hard not to read that as a hidden innuendo. The same can be said for this line. It's a bit hard to read. Basically, it's saying that people come from far and wide to put these nuts in their mouths. Again, could be quite literal, but it also could mean something else. And as we can see here, sometimes it's really hard not to read into it.
The air was warm and it smelled of salt and sweat and lotion. Way back in the corner was a constant steady motion.
So what do you think? As humans, we are meaning-making creatures, and sometimes it seems like we're provoked to find a hidden innuendo, especially in books like these. But at other times, sometimes we interpret things in the way that we'd like to, even if it doesn't necessarily align with the meaning given by the creators, like in these old Disney films. Let us know your thoughts in the comments and tell us if you're interested in a part 2, because there is so much more content that we can